What if one skill could decide whether your next big project succeeds or spectacularly fails? Back in 1997, Walmart rolled into Germany, thinking it could copy-paste its American success. But 9 years and $1 billion in losses later, they pulled out completely. This wasn't a failure of their product or their supply chain. It was a failure to understand culture. German shoppers felt the over-the-top friendliness from greeters was fake and uncomfortable. The American management style didn't sit right with local work culture, and the whole business model just fell flat. This wasn't a lapse in business intelligence. It was a lapse in cultural intelligence. In a world where your team, your clients, and your next big market are all over the globe, this skill isn't just nice to have, it's your secret weapon. So in this video, we're going to break down what cultural intelligence actually is and how you can build it to make your team a powerhouse and make sure your business wins on the global stage. Section 1. The hidden cost of cultural blindness. The world has never been more connected, but let's be honest, connection without understanding is just noise. It's chaos. We see the fallout all the time. Marketing campaigns become global punchlines because a slogan gets horribly lost in translation. For instance, when the banking giant HSBC took its Assume Nothing campaign global, it was translated in many markets as Do Nothing, not exactly the message you want from your bank. That mistake cost them a reported $10 million to fix. We see brilliant, diverse teams hitting a wall because of friction from different communication styles and unspoken rules. And we see a staggering number of international ventures struggle and fail, not just because of a bad strategy, but because of cultural friction that was never addressed. This is the hidden tax on doing business today. It's the price of cultural ignorance. We all know about IQ, our cognitive intelligence, and EQ, our emotional intelligence. Both are vital. But in a global economy, there's a third piece of the puzzle, CQ, or cultural intelligence. Cultural intelligence is your ability to relate and work effectively with people from different cultural backgrounds. It's what lets a leader walk into a new environment and not just get by, but truly connect, adapt, and thrive. It's the skill that transforms a group of diverse individuals into a team that uses its differences to innovate. Leaders with high CQ are simply better leaders. They build inclusive teams, communicate more clearly, and get more engagement and productivity from everyone. This isn't just a soft skill, it's a massive competitive advantage. Section 2. What is cultural intelligence, CQ? The 4 pillars of success. So, how do we build this critical skill? The great news is that cultural intelligence isn't some magical trait you're born with. It's a skill that can be learned and sharpened. Researchers have broken CQ down into a simple but powerful 4-part framework. Think of these as the 4 pillars you need to construct to become a truly effective global leader: drive, knowledge, strategy, and action. Getting a handle on these 4 pillars is the first step. It gives you a roadmap for what to work on. So, let's dig into each one, and I'll give you some real, actionable ways to strengthen each pillar. Section 3. Pillar 1. Drive. Your motivation to adapt. The first pillar is drive. This is your why. It's your level of interest, motivation, and confidence in cross-cultural situations. Without a genuine drive to understand, trying to learn about other cultures will feel like a homework assignment, and any actions you take will feel hollow. Your drive really comes down to 3 things. Are you genuinely curious about the world? Do you recognize the real-world benefits, like career growth, that come from this? And deep down, do you believe you can learn and adapt? So, how do you fire up your drive? First, tap into your own curiosity. Start small. Instead of seeing a cross-cultural meeting as a minefield, see it as a chance to learn something new. Ask questions because you actually want to know the answer. Follow news from sources in other countries. Watch foreign films. Try food you've never eaten. You're aiming for a mindset of discovery, not judgment. Second, keep the professional rewards in mind. Research shows that the vast majority of top executives agree that cross-cultural skills are essential to stay competitive. By building your CQ, you're making yourself a more valuable and effective leader in a global market. And third, build confidence through small wins. Each time you successfully navigate a small interaction, like learning the right way to greet someone or understanding a different point of view in a meeting, you build the momentum to handle bigger challenges. Section 4, Pillar 2, Knowledge. Understanding the why behind the why what. The second pillar is knowledge. This is the what. It's your understanding of how cultures are similar and different. But let me be crystal clear. This is not about memorizing stereotypes. Stereotypes are lazy and dangerous. Real CQ knowledge is about understanding the core values and frameworks that shape how people behave. For example, it helps to understand concepts like high context versus low context communication. In a low context culture like the US or Germany, people expect communication to be direct and to the point. What you say is what you mean. But in a high context culture, like in Japan or many Arab nations, communication is more indirect. The message is often found in nonverbal cues, relationships, and what isn't said. Another key piece of knowledge is understanding different views on hierarchy. In some cultures, respectfully challenging your boss is seen as a sign of engagement. In others, it's seen as a huge sign of disrespect. How do you build this knowledge without just memorizing facts? First, be an active learner. Read books and follow cultural experts. Organizations like the Cultural Intelligence Center have great resources for this. Second, learn through exposure. If you can, build diverse teams and professional networks. Create an environment where different perspectives aren't just put up with, but are actively encouraged. This turns every day into an opportunity for cultural learning. And third, when you see a behavior that puzzles you, don't just react. Ask yourself, what underlying cultural value might be driving this? That simple question shifts you from a place of judgment to a place of analysis. Section 5, Pillar 3, Strategy. Your game plan for a new culture. The third pillar is strategy. This is the how. It's your ability to plan for and make sense of cross-cultural interactions as they happen. Knowledge is one thing, but it's not much use if you don't have a plan to apply it. Strategy is the bridge between knowing and doing. This breaks down into 3 skills. First, planning. Before you walk into a cross-cultural situation, whether it's a negotiation or just a check-in with a team member, take a moment to prepare. What are your goals? What do you know about their cultural norms? What assumptions are you making, and how can you check if they're right? Second, awareness. This is about being present during the interaction. Pay attention to what's going on, verbally and non-verbally. Are people reacting the way you expected? Is their body language telling a different story than their words? Leaders with high CQ are masters at reading the room. And third, checking. This is about reflecting after the fact. What did you learn? What surprised you? What would you do differently next time? This habit is what turns your experiences into actual wisdom. To build your strategy, just start making this process conscious. Before your next important cross-cultural meeting, take 10 minutes to plan. During the meeting, make a point to observe. And afterward, take 5 minutes to reflect on how it went. This simple routine can seriously speed up your learning curve. Section 6, Pillar 4, Action. Turning insight into impact. The final and most critical pillar is action. This is where it all comes together. Action is your ability to actually adapt your behavior to fit different cultural contexts. It's about modifying what you say and do to show respect and build trust. This isn't about being fake or losing yourself. It's about having a wider range of behaviors to choose from. Think of a talented musician who can play multiple genres of music. They're not less of a musician, they're a more versatile and skilled one. Adapting your actions might be as simple as changing how you greet someone, adjusting the speed at which you talk, or changing how you give feedback. For instance, in many cultures, it's expected that you build a personal connection before you start talking business. Jumping straight into the agenda can feel abrupt and rude. A leader with high CQ action knows when to slow down, ask about the family, and build that rapport first. So how do you improve your action? Start with one thing at a time. Don't try to change everything at once. Maybe you focus on being more direct or less direct in your communication, depending on the person. Or maybe you practice getting more comfortable with silence, which is highly valued in many cultures. Practice that one behavior until it feels natural, and then add another. Over time, you'll build a flexible, adaptable leadership style that earns trust and gets results. Section 7, CQ in Action, Transforming Your Business. When you bring all 4 pillars together, drive, knowledge, strategy, and action, the impact is huge. For leaders, high CQ helps you manage diverse teams with empathy, which cuts down on conflict and boosts performance. For marketers, it helps you dodge expensive blunders and create campaigns that actually connect with local audiences, opening up new paths for growth. Culturally intelligent companies build stronger relationships with customers and partners, which leads to trust and long-term loyalty. They attract and keep the best talent because they create workplaces where everyone feels valued and understood. And most importantly, they turn their diversity into a powerful engine for innovation. By bringing more perspectives to the table, they can outthink and out-innovate their competitors. Building your cultural intelligence is a journey, not a final destination. It's an ongoing process of learning, adapting, and growing. But if you want to be a successful leader in our interconnected world, it's one of the most important journeys you can take. If you found this breakdown helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more videos on leadership and business. And now I have a question for you. What is one cross-cultural misunderstanding you've either witnessed or experienced firsthand? Share your story in the comments below. Let's learn from each other. From preventing billion-dollar flameouts to unlocking the full potential of your team, cultural intelligence is the common thread. It's so much more than just being polite or aware. It's a real, actionable skill set built on 4 pillars: the drive, to engage, the knowledge, to understand, the strategy, to plan, and the kudri, action, to adapt. By working on these 4 areas, you can become a more effective leader, a smarter marketer, and a more connected human being. You can build bridges instead of walls, create harmony from complexity, and achieve a new level of success, both for yourself and for your business. That is the true power of cultural intelligence.